what I did to the man who left me pregnant. My husband left me while I was pregnant with twins, so I didn't wait for karma and took revenge myself. When I told my husband I was pregnant, he froze. When he saw the ultrasound, he panicked. The following day, he was gone. No calls, no trace. But I wasn't about to let him disappear without a word. I needed answers and payback. That morning, I woke up to an unusual silence. Normally, my husband Max would already be moving around the apartment, taking a shower, making coffee, or muttering about the news. But that day, nothing. I opened my eyes, confused by the stillness, and reached for his side of the bed. It was cold. I sat up and looked around the room, my eyes scanning the familiar space. His suit, which was always carelessly draped over the chair, was missing. I quickly jumped out of bed, feeling a rising sense of panic, and hurried into the living room, empty. The kitchen was spotless, just as it always was when he made his early morning coffee. On the dining table, I noticed a single sheet of white paper. It was neatly placed there, as if it had been intentionally left behind. I picked it up with trembling hands and read the words, "I'm sorry, I'm not ready." I stared at the 5 words, unable to understand them fully. "What?" I whispered to myself, my voice filled with disbelief. A sinking feeling spread through me, gnawing at my chest. I rushed to the closet, empty. No shirts, no pants. Not even his shoes were there. I quickly moved to the bathroom, hoping I was just imagining things, but his favorite cologne, his shaving cream, and even his towel were all gone. I yanked open the drawer in the entryway, but there was nothing there either. He was gone completely. I stood still for a moment, trying to piece it together, but nothing made sense. I thought back to the night before when I handed Max the envelope with the ultrasound photo. I remembered the way he took it carefully from my hands, the way his smile faded as he looked at the picture. You're pregnant?" he asked, his voice quiet, almost distant. I nodded eagerly, trying to hide my excitement. "Yes, isn't it wonderful? But we weren't planning this," he responded, his voice trailing off. I tried to reassure him. "I know, but some things are meant to be, right?" His eyes stayed fixed on the ultrasound, his jaw tightening. "Wait, what is this?" "It's twins, Max," I told him, feeling a mix of joy and nervousness, his arms wrapped around me in what was supposed to be a comforting embrace. But something about it felt off. The way he held me wasn't the reaction I had imagined. A wife expects a certain kind of response when she shares such life-changing news, but he didn't react as I thought he would. He didn't ask how I felt or tell me we'd figure it out together. Instead, he simply stood up and said, "I need some fresh air." Before walking out of the room, I had imagined that moment so differently. I thought he would be overwhelmed in a good way. Maybe he'd come back with a huge bouquet of flowers or a box of chocolates. Instead, he didn't come back at all. The reality of the situation began to settle in, and I stood there with a hollow pit in my stomach, clutching my phone. I called him once, no answer. Twice, nothing. 3 times, still no response. "The number you are trying to reach is currently unavailable." The voice on the other end of the line said. I opened my messages, searching for some kind of explanation. The last message I had sent him was from the night before. "I'm so happy. I can't wait until we feel their first kicks together." He hadn't even read it. The last message from him was before dinner. "Running late. Don't wait up." At the time, I hadn't thought much of it. Just another late meeting, another work obligation. But now, with everything that had happened, I saw the pattern clearly. The late nights, the unexplained absences, and his phone being switched off at night. I bit my lip, fighting back the tears that threatened to come. Was he really just scared of becoming a father? Or was there something else going on? I wiped my face and took a deep breath. He was terribly mistaken if he thought he could just disappear without any explanation.